This is easily my favorite read of 2017 so far. And will probably be my favorite read of 2017 overall. That book is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. Eliza and Her Monsters is about a girl named Eliza in her last year of high school who has a webcomic online that 2 years prior completely exploded. There was a really, really popular review website or something that posted a link to her website, and it got a whole bunch of views and has since grown in large numbers. She has millions of fans. She has her own website with her own message boards that people post fan art and fan fiction on, and she's got her own merchandise line, and she makes a lot of money doing it. The only thing is nobody knows who she is as the creator. She creates and releases everything and comments on everything on the website under a pen name, and she doesn't tell anyone what her real name is or where she's from or anything. Nobody at school know that she is the person who created this webcomic. Her family knows about her webcomic online, but they don't really understand just how popular it is and how much money she's making from it. They know she makes money, but they think she makes a little bit of money, like a little bit of spending money every now and then, but she's basically making a living off of this. She also suffers from a little bit of social anxiety. She doesn't really have any friends. She's really happy just staying home and working on her comic and talking to her friends online, and two of which know who she is. They know her real name and where she lives because they send each other presents and stuff, but they only ever talk online. And they don't reveal her identity on the forums or anything like that, and they both help her run her website. But then there's a new boy who comes to her school he's like this really big, intimidating guy, but he's really, really quiet and a little kind of under the radar. He actually can't speak out loud in a lot of situations, and he talks to Eliza by writing to her on a piece of paper. And it turns out that he is actually a huge fan of her webcomic, and he writes fan fiction for it. So it's about Eliza becoming friends with this guy who's a huge fan of her work, and him not knowing that this person he's now friends with is actually the creator of Monstrous Sea, this webcomic that he is absolutely in love with. And she is torn between keeping it a secret from him or telling him. And basically it's like the longer she goes not telling him, the worse telling him is gonna be. There's more to it than that. I feel like it goes so deep into the characters and their families. It has a lot of, family situations and family values in it as well that I really liked, but I really, really, really liked the relationship that builds between Eliza and Wallace. Wallace is the guy who does the fanfiction of Monstrous Sea, and I feel like this book totally gets me as a writer and a content creator. I feel like anyone who is an artist in any form or is a part of any fandom would really, really, really appreciate this story. Just all of the things that Eliza feels, especially whenever she reads Wallace's fan fiction, which is like, I feel like a huge, huge compliment, I guess. To be like, I loved your stuff so much that I'm making my own version of it. I loved it so much that I have to do something to make it stay alive after you've put up your pages for the week and I've read them already and I need something else. And the way that they talk about it and the world and the way people basically find an escape through her world that she's created for people, I feel like it was just, it was so good. And when more intense stuff, I guess, starts happening and things kind of spiral out of control, I felt like a lot of that stuff was relatable as well. I feel like besides the fact that her work is famous, I knew exactly what she was going through for a lot of the situations, and there was one spot in particular, I won't tell you what because spoilers, but there was one spot in particular that I cried. And I was actually lying in bed next to my boyfriend who was sleeping, and I didn't want to wake him up. And I also didn't want him to wake up and make fun of me. But I was I was holding in sobs. Like, I really needed to ugly cry and, like, make ugly noises while I cried. But I didn't, and it was, like, physically painful to just, like, only let tears fall and nothing else. If I was by myself, I would have sobbed. The book also it's also scattered with pieces of her sketches and her comic, as well as Wallace's fanfiction as well. Basically, what he's working on throughout a lot of the story and what is scattered throughout the book is he's transcribing her comic into novel form. So there's a lot of portions where it has a picture from her comic or a sketch from one of her characters, and underneath it has this transcription of Wallace's novel, which comes from her comic. So it's amazing. I wonder if I can have my favorite. This is my favorite part. The back cover, actually. This one here, that's on the back cover, right here. But I'm going to read it. It doesn't give anything away or anything, but it says, if you had to choose, which would it be? Dying in a year or living forever? Neither. A year is too short and forever is too long. That's the point of the question. It's difficult. Then what would you choose? Living forever. I want to see the stars die. I love it. I love it so much. So that's the picture that you get in that part of the book. And there's actually a lot of quotes that a lot of them are taken out of context from her webcomic, but I loved them. There's You Found Me in a Constellation, and There Are Monsters in the Sea. I love, 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 love There Are Monsters in the Sea so much because it has multiple meanings. It's not just a literal thing, it's like a figurative thing as well, and I adored this book so, so, so much. I feel like it handled a lot of the anxiety situations really well, and I really appreciated that it wasn't just a girl in the story with anxiety. It was a big, tough football player looking guy who couldn't bring himself to speak out loud in most situations, because I feel like it's normally the girl who has these situations and it's the guy who helps, and if it is a guy, he's not like a big, tough looking guy. And so I just feel like that was nice, that it kind of broke away from the stereotypes a little bit. So I really appreciated that aspect as well. And I also, this isn't a criticism or anything like that. I feel like the last chapter and the epilogue were not needed in this book. It was still good, but if it ended the way the second last chapter ended, it would have been perfection. And one of the reasons that I also think it's absolute perfection is because I can see it in my head. I can see it ending that way in a comic or a movie, and it's perfect. It's the perfect way to end it. I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. I loved it. You should read it. I would like you to love it too, and love it with me, because it was amazing. And I borrowed this from someone, so now I need to go out and buy my own copy. Hey, you built the deck box!
Oh my god, squirrel!
Sorry, I just noticed.
Squirrel! Is that all?
You can't look at me now.
Why not?
While I'm doing this.
I'm gonna. The whole time. And action. I said action.
You know,
anytime you're ready.
No, you can't look at me.
Anytime you're ready. I look at you all the time sometimes.
I know, but I'm also...
You're gonna go see your mom.